What happens when you hear Riqui Puig? When you say it, what is the reaction? Riqui Puig has been a player that has divided certainly Barcelona's fanbase this season, mainly not because of the player itself, but from the decisions taken by Ronald Koeman, the manager, on counting on him or not. Couple this with the sort of gossip-like reporting that is being done surrounding the subject, that being Koeman's reactions to Riqui Puig's sudden burst into the spotlight, it leaves us wondering that perhaps there's more than what just meets the eye. Previously on this channel we have already covered this relationship, these issues, this debate, so today what I wanted to do instead is focus on the concrete. Focus on what certainty there is surrounding Riqui Puig, and that is to say that this boy is talented. Undeniably, Riqui Puig is one of the most naturally gifted players I have ever seen, and that talent is what I want to highlight today. Join us as we take a deep dive into what makes Riqui Puig so special. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another episode of Player Spotlight, my favorite series here on the channel. And my first thought when I think of Riqui Puig is that he is described as a progressive midfielder, and likewise his first thought could be that of receiving the ball to play forward to players into more advanced positions. Riqui Puig has trained throughout his entire life to reach this point, a point where his creative capabilities can get him into the first team of Barcelona, and now a chance should really be granted to him before it's too late. We can't debate entirely about that relationship between him and Koeman, and yes, I have taken my dig into certain things of Riqui Puig as well, especially his attitude, but that talent cannot be denied. Born on the 13th of August of 1999, Riqui Puig is already 21 years old, and if you compare that to other players of a similar age like Mateus Cunha, Phil Foden, Moussa Diaby, Declan Rice or Joao Felix, Riqui is falling behind and is yet to feel part of an actual squad. As you can see on screen right now, Riqui Puig, in contrast to Martin Odegaard, Phil Foden and Gio Reyna, can seem to be rather underwhelming. But in reality, when you focus on his creative numbers and how he has achieved a similar height of players like Foden, which particularly for me is probably till now the best out of these, not because of their talent, not because of what they have done, but just basically because of the amount of game time that we've seen him play under Manchester City. He has done the same as Phil Foden in those creative numbers in less years. Phil Foden has done it with over 4 seasons and triple the amount of minutes. Riqui Puig, in far less this year, has been impactful, garnishing off the bench performances to be even more than a starter for Barca. Additionally, I would like us to focus on also the relevancy and the situation of the team that it's at hand. One of the key reasons why Riqui Puig is so special for Barcelona now within this context is because the team lacks any sort of players that can represent his skill set on the pitch. Position-wise is one thing, Barcelona has many number 10s, but when it comes to his skill set as a player, that is a completely different other thing. When it comes to finding players with a lower center of gravity than Riqui, it is almost impossible to find. His fast distribution and his precise passing around the field is what makes him so pivotal to breaking teams down, something which Barcelona has struggled recently in previous years. Yet his ability to enhance an attack can not only be traced to him. Coutinho, Pedri, players within Barcelona, and likewise external youngsters like we've mentioned in Foden or someone like Florian Wirtz, can also do this. So why is it then that there's so much fuss about this youngster? Why him and not others? Well, because of his movement. The way that Riqui Puig interprets the space around him is unique, not exclusive or limited to one system or one team. To better explain my point, think about players like Antoine Griezmann, for example, a caliber of a footballer that is immense like no other, but restricted to the similarities learned in and around the teams that he had to operate in before. Antoine is a player that needs space in front and accommodates to the rigorous presence of another striker. When this is done, then finally Antoine Griezmann is free, able to speak the language of goal creation and contribution. Without it, he's nothing. Riqui Puig doesn't need anyone else to excel in his game, and his way of interpreting movement derives from him being able to interpret and predict the second pass of the ball carrier. Impossible to do on a consistent basis, but when it happens, Riqui Puig more often than not can be the main contributor in providing the ball that will eventually lead to an assist to a goal. Being able to read the game one step ahead of the rest benefits him greatly, positioning himself in areas that in present time may be marked, but when he will receive the ball, not so much. In addition to this, otherworldly movements his runs make by Riqui Puig are strong. In attacking sense, he is probably one of the best players that Barcelona has currently in their team. His determination and work rates are also admirable. As a player keen to succeed and as a product of La Masia, he's a provider more than a receiver. Riqui Puig as a footballer understands there is no expectation surrounding him, but yet he is capable of working hard to adapt to what the team needs in any particular situation and against any particular team. Moreover, his ball carrying ability is also superb. The dribbling that he excels when he has a ball is complementary entirely to the new version of someone like Frenkie de Jong, and could also ease the load of someone like Messi, which is the main ball carrier of Barcelona. His passing is also something that must be noteworthy. We've already talked a lot about his movement can get him into incredible positions, but the final product that Riqui Puig has is also superb. He's able to connect balls and ping it all around the field with very easy one-touch passes. And you may be thinking, why do first-time one-touch passes are so pivotal to the sport? Well, because the longer that you have the ball, the easier it is for the position to go ahead and mark you. Firstly, one of the main weaknesses that we have to mention is that he's relatively a small guy. Even though that may seem as a detriment for a sport of contact, there really isn't much that we can say, but it's still a weakness. Here's why. Many are gonna argue that this is why he costs him a lot of games, incapable of withstanding duels and overcoming situations in which he's under pressure. Which, yes, that is a fact. If you're a small guy, it's easier for you to lose a duel if you are up against someone that is literally almost 2 meters tall. But personally, I also would like to enhance the idea that his size makes Riqui Puig better and makes him unique and special within a collective system, as it powers his already good abilities to further levels. But what you could also say is that then this translates into the perception that Riqui Puig won't contribute when a game needs to get feisty and combative. With that being said, one true weakness that we can point out is the risk attributed to Riqui Puig when he is leaving his position and going on those mind-bending runs that we've mentioned before. As much as these are benefits to the overall play in attack, in the long term, this can be seen as a detriment to the defensive side of Barcelona's game. If you sit to think about it, it makes sense why managers were so reluctant to play Riqui Puig. We've mentioned this more in-depthly in another video exactly about this matter, but the reality of the matter is that whilst Riqui Puig should be a pivotal part of Barcelona, as a player in the eyes of managers, he's a luxury one. The defensive contribution that Riqui Puig does provide is precise and most often than not lifesaver tackles, and highly memorable ones at that. Even though Riqui Puig treks forward, he has the ability and most importantly the willingness to track back and help the team. He can do it, but there are going to be occasions where he's incapable to reach the runner and therefore hurt other players like Sergio Busquets, which literally now has the same mobility as a 90s Fiat car. These are risks that are hard for a manager to take, so for the better way of putting it for you to understand, you could potentially say that Riqui Puig is too good for his own sake. The future of Riqui Puig is something that will depend on the next manager for certain. That is my take on the entire thing. That new manager can make his career as a whole or can destroy it, because right now Riqui Puig, we know that he can reach certain spectacles, certain moments of greatness, but we don't know if he can do it consistently, so we need to see it now before it's too late. As soon as a risk-taker comes and has the vision to instill a system that can get the whole team defending at once in attack and instead of a block when in transitions, that is when Riqui Puig's full potential will be exploited, and certainly it will be exploited for the best. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Be sure to let me know in the comment box down below what do you think of this video. Did you learn anything new about Riqui Puig? And if you did, please join us in helping us fight the algorithm. Drop a like, share with your friends, follow me on social media, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this one. See you in the next one. Take care. And I'm tired of the algorithm. Literally, it doesn't let me sleep. Fuck you, algorithm. Fuck you. Ciao.